Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, April 19th, 2023, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tonight at around 9 p.m. Eastern. Might want to have a notebook handy to take notes with. The more creative you become, the more godly you become. And your creativity comes to a climax. When each moment of your life is filled with creativity, you live in God also. The greatest shift that any human being can have in this lifetime is the experience of full self-realization. What is self-realization? There are many different definitions which point to it. Yet ultimately, it is a fancy word for realizing that the unlimited, all-powerful, omniscient self, who you truly are. This means we must go beyond every idea, concept, and boundary which we've defined ourself to be. Self-realization is an endless journey when we not only realize that we are beyond this physical form all day long, yet we have a direct experience of it with everything and everyone. We feel and sense a reverence for the spiritual being we truly are. This is not separate from this world around us. It is the most profound awakening process one can have, which expands within you every moment of the day, becoming an integrated aspect of everyday life. There really is no deeper transformation in consciousness than any human can have than becoming self-realized. The change in perspective is so completely radical and utterly life-morphing that nothing else can compare. Take the most profound experience of your life and then stretch it so it continuously grows and expands 24 hours a day. This is a taste of what self-realization is like. Your entire experience of reality is different. It's as if you had been an Eskimo living for 70 years in the Arctic Circle, and then one day you decided to pack your bags and permanently move to Hawaii. There really is no deeper transformation in consciousness that any human can have than becoming self-realized. The change in perspective is so completely radical and utterly life-morphing that nothing else can compare. Now, the reason why it is so important to understand how ridiculously different the experience of self-realization is because it helps the mind drop any possible attempts to formulate a hardened concept about it. What it actually is cannot be grasped by the mind. The more the mind tries to think that it knows what self-realization is, the further you drift away from the experience of it. There is no mental concept in this universe that can prepare you for self-realization, other than a perpetual willingness to surrender into the mystery and curiosity of it. We would all like a formula for a way to live this life that is more enlightened and liberating. The problem is that every formula that works once is not going to work forever. All formulas last for a limited period of time, and then we outgrow them. This is because the nature of our consciousness is meant to expand, become more flexible and diversified. It is only through absolute surrender to this infinite universe can self-realization be invoked and gifted to you. This level of surrender means you're inviting in the feeling that anything is possible, which means you must choose to let go of just about everything you've known to be true. It's not easy to let go of our beliefs, yet it is the only way we will ever find the experience of being truly free. To identify oneself with the body and yet to seek happiness is like attempting to cross a river on the back of an alligator, Ramana Maharishi. To begin this seemingly impossible spiritual quest for freedom all begins with inquiring into the source and center of who and what you actually are. When you relax, meditate, dive into the center of you, there you will first find the mind and its stories about you. The infinite experience of you is behind these thoughts. It comes from diving into the center of your presence, your essence, and there you can go into it for infinity. There is always another experience within the center of each experience. Eventually, this is how we become centered within our spiritual essence. In this life, it is always the most random, expansive feelings which redirect our attention away from who we think we are and towards rediscovering our unlimited creative source of consciousness. If you notice, whenever you talk about yourself, you usually refer to the words me, my, or I. When you feel into the experience of me, my, or I, what do you notice and perceive is there? Look for a long period of time. You must be infinitely patient with this inquiry because it is the first step towards uncovering the real you and is vastly deep and transforming. The longer that you can maintain a focus of inquiring who or what I am, the faster you will realize the shocking truth of who and what you actually are. To try out this exercise, imagine that who you are is contained within the small dot, okay? So you have a big circle, right? And the dot, the little tiny dot, is inside the circle. And the dot is the self you believe you are. This means everything which you have identified with that can be written down on paper. Your name, friends, job, your gifts, physical appearances, your attitude, personality, and the way others see you, and it's all part of your identity. Now, the little dot represents your mind, with all the information stored inside it, as well as your emotions, memories, beliefs, and every piece of good and bad information inside your physical body. Everything you know to be true, everything you know to be true about your reality is contained within the tiny dot. You got to circle around the dot. Represents everything in our future we have yet to see, experience, know, and learn. It contains our intuitive higher self that says who and what we are includes the ego, mind, body, yet also welcomes it welcomes everything beyond it as well. Meaning you could find yourself knowing who you are is not just your body, yet anything around you. You could feel yourself to be a tree, animal, plant, person, the sun, moon, star, planet. You could extend your idea of yourself into anything and everything in this entire universe. The circle represents every piece of information you don't know that you don't know is on Google, as well as in the buried ancient history books and Akashic records throughout time. Now, if you look closely at the circle, you'll see there is an outer circumference where the black edge meets the pure white background. This white background can expand into infinity. And this edge represents the edge of the unknown and is where the experience of self-realization is found. We must choose not only to let go of identifying ourselves as a body-mind, yet also to be continuously expanding our sphere of what we know is the unknown and surrender to the unknowable. You can call this infinite white expansive space God, love, consciousness, source, or any word that works for you. However, the truth is that there is no word large enough to describe this boundaryless container which allows for everything in this universe to play upon it. This is the great mystery of this life, which every mad scientist fights with to understand. Yet the mind will always be too small of a container to get it, to fully experience and realize who and what we actually are. We must choose to release anything that can be known with the mind and surrender into the infinite mystery behind it all. It is in this direct relaxation into our foundation that we find our spiritual connection and our boundless infinite potentiality. We instantly realize that we are a spiritual being who is beyond this body, beyond time, beyond all places, shapes, and forms. When you judge another, you do not define them. You define yourself, Wayne Dyer. By living everyday life on this outer edge of infinite possibilities, we become rooted in the deepest truth of who we truly are. We experience enlightened relationships with everyone in our lives because we see they are also a part of the mystery living in this great unknown. We then become this ever-growing expansion of godly experience that is always increasing in love, joy, and curiosity. When we find this infinity within us, where all thoughts and forms abide in, we can rest in a state of pure consciousness. It is from this resting within the core of our real self where we can effortlessly allow everything to be in a perfect order. Seeing the divine is orchestrating the universe to blossom exactly the way it needs to. The experience of self-realization can come and go in an instant. We don't need to meditate for 40 years to get it. It all begins with a choice in each moment to let this go of any identification we have with this body-mind and exchange it for a more expansive experience of this life. So it's partly pure intention and part total surrender. We must choose to go from thinking we are limited human beings with many problems of this world to knowing we are on a great spiritual journey through an unlimited life. This leap requires absolute risk and trust. As the nature of the mind-ego identity, we must go from thinking we are a limited human being with many problems of this world to knowing we are on a great spiritual journey through an unlimited life. The leap requires absolute risk and trust, as the nature of the mind-ego identity is to try to cling to the old. It wants to find security in that which does not change. Yet everything of this world changes. The only thing that does not change is the infinite background. The only way to real freedom in this life is through changing our perspective when we can shift from thinking, I live in the body, to the body lives in me. Our reference point to me, myself, and I is expanded. We are no longer imprisoned to just the body and mind. We realize we are the unknowable. The identification with who we are is then found in everything. We experience life beyond the known and unknown circles of information we think are there. Self-realization is huge. However, it is not too huge to experience it in our daily lives, for it too root and be real. We must be willing to practice integrating this expansive perspective on a physical level. We must choose to find complete relaxation with all the feelings, memories, ideas of who we were, who we are now, and everything that we will become. It is through the deepest acceptance of our small selves that we can expand into our unlimited self. We are forever going to be this tiny dot that is also expanding into the infinite universe that exists all around us. This is life. We have no other choice yet to accept it and relax into it. The deeply eternal, loving, and accepting divine blackboard that is behind it all. You are the pulsing heart of the emptiness, the mountain strength of the vastness. Pamela Wilson. Now, through the course of a lifetime, we'll take this lifetime, we all seem to get pulled into this feeling of falling off the path, losing the way. When the frail, egoic human persona takes over, we tend to get wrapped up in identifying ourselves as small, limited, powerless, time-bound beings who are temporarily imprisoned in a physical human form. The human experience can hypnotize us into believing that we are lost, poor, insecure, unhappy, or simply off track. Now, the good, positive news is that the truth is always much bigger than the mind can fathom whenever we perceive life to be some random, challenging, confusing experience. take an afternoon to digest these 5 secrets. They will open up the inner avenues of connection so you reestablish a heartfelt relationship with your spiritual essence and soon discover the all-powerful, magical, manifesting being you truly are. The first step to opening the doorway to meeting your sacred soul starts with feeling into your basic core nature. Who are you at the very innermost core level? You are a super powerful, divine being. Exploring this exposes you to become the highest authority of your reality and your life, where you decide what is real and what is not. You are the one who is constantly seeing, believing, and perceiving the reality you think is true. The mind is always right about what it believes is real. It's never wrong about what direction it's thinking and believing. Even if you fall off the deep end and believe 1 + 2 = 4, the mind will be very righteous about that. I know people like this. The mind is all coiled up in an old habit of making up fantastic stories about who and what you are and are not. When this mind drops, you drop into your core basic nature, mindless, still, and free from all thought. The mind will still try to say that you are not enough of this and too much of that. Do not listen to the mind. Listen to your heart instead. There is an unlimited field of loving, sweet energy in your heart, which is the doorway to having a full body, deeply healing, spiritually awakening experience. Now, the second step to revealing your soul is found within this space-time continuum. Where would the soul reside if it was simply resting and relaxing at the center of you? Where specifically and exactly is the core of you? When you look within yourself, where in space and time is the very center of this thing called you? When you find it, rest for many hours in that space. You'll discover that you are pure, powerful, perfect, sweet, complete consciousness. You are the source of divine perfection. The more we can relax into our center, the easier it becomes to realize there never ever was anything wrong with you. That was all just a big fancy show of the mind, fabricating new stories again and again and again. Your soul is beyond the mind. It is the ever-present, eternal witness at the core essence of you, and is always there, always available, and ready to be explored. This is the inner journey everyone is seeking. It's the one that can take lifetimes to discover, and until we find it, we cannot know deep, everlasting peace. And don't worry. It is predestined that you will find your soul. This spiritual stream of sacredness follows us wherever we go. When we can really relax deep down in the core of our being, the eyes of the soul begin seeing through us. We can perceive the universal spiritual path within the mundane and understand how it's truly impossible to screw up this life. When we relax, we begin to truly trust life. We can feel like we have an infinite amount of time, energy, resources, creativity, and knowledge to get it right. Only in a very deep relaxation can we surrender enough to bathe in our soul's true eternal essence. Ego and mind are set on the back burner. There is no second guessing. There's no second guessing about if we have arrived in the parking lot of our soul or not. It's so obvious. It's like the difference between knowing the sun is shining or not. There is only this pure feeling of knowing. In getting that we are all unlimited, unbounded, perfect beings, connected in each moment to an infinite stream of conscious, intelligent energy. The soul makes us wake up and realize that we can do the impossible. Its energy is so powerful, eternal, and cannot be changed. The more we relax into this understanding, the more we stop fighting with our mind and its list of unfulfilled desires. We simply give up following our thoughts blindly around and begin relaxing beneath them into the quiet solitude underneath the mind, which makes everything in this life more interesting and less challenging than it needs to be. The third step is to unveiling your spiritual amazingness, is in the practice of a thing called trust. This universe is always protecting you, helping you, and serving your highest good. It has never abandoned you and is always here assisting you to blaze through your challenges and find your greatest possible joy in this life. When you trust in this process, everything changes in your perception of reality. The universe is conspiring in your favor. It wants what you want. Be a pronoiac, not a paranoiac. Just notice what it feels like to sit back and relax into the feeling of trusting in this universe and knowing it is guiding you. When we practice the trust vibe, we can listen easily to the subtle hints from this universe. We know our life purpose and spiritual direction, and we stop ignoring it. The trusting signs are there. Just look for them. Take heed. Stop getting in the way of your highest possibility. It is in trusting this universe that we can give ourselves permission to manifest the most amazing, miraculous life we could ever imagine. We actually get what we truly want through trusting. We stop settling for a fear-based, rushed lifestyle that we don't really desire. So I invite you right now to take time to settle yourself into the energy of trust right now. Breathe it into your body. Feel it inside your heart. Practice this one all day long, all night long. Notice how good this feels. See if you can notice how many ways this universe is guiding, assisting, and protecting you in the next 48 hours. It is an amazing feeling when you can remain in the state of trust all week long, as it is this energy which opens the door to let your soul's full presence to come flying through. And the fourth step to discovering your soul comes from recognizing and letting go of your fears. Take the time when you're in the grocery line to find out what you're truly afraid of in this life. Look deep inside. Face whatever old dark demons are inside you. They are just you hiding from your own soul. Your fears are not meant to hurt you or haunt you and stay with you forever. This is not their purpose. If you are not facing your fears every day, then they are not fully serving you. You're meant to work with fear. Push up against it so that you expand your sense of self and grow beyond it. Release your attachments to what the fear means and realize each one is merely a ridiculous, misguided thought. Give yourself fully over to being a fearless human being by facing every fear that arises. You get to know your true warrior self as an all-loving, all-powerful, fearless, multidimensional spiritual being with unlimited potentiality. Who knew the darkness would lead us to the light? And with just a little exploration, and our daily journey home becomes a very sacred healing process. Only you can say where the road goes. Everyone sets his goals for the hour, for the relationship, and for every phase of this life. L. Ron Hubbard. The fifth step to uncovering your sparkling, bright soul comes from retraining your brain to be alert and remain focused only on that which you truly desire. What do you want in this life? What you want wants you to have it. And when you can keep your mind focusing on what you want and off what you don't want, the most amazing things will manifest in your presence. Nobody wants to hear what's on your long list of complaints. Put your kingdom of don't wants up for sale and recalibrate your mind to meditate on what you do desire. What are those things that make your heart sing? The simple refocusing of the mind on what you want in this life is incredibly powerful and transformative. Once the mind comes around to the conclusion that as long as it's focusing on what it doesn't want, it's never going to be happy, then it starts to rely more on pure awareness to liberate it. The mind is already deeply trained and programmed to rewind and replay the same 60,000 thoughts it had yesterday and the day before, and so on. It doesn't like to deviate from the norm. Yet when you redirect it to remain focused on what you want to think about all day long, your soul peeks through and opens up everything. Like a flower meeting the first morning rays of sunshine, you can come to feel the amazing warmth that is inside your being. This is the day you truly know your soul intimately, and it will show everyone in the most natural, unassuming way the all-powerful, deeply eternal loving being you already are. Don't waste your life for that which is going to be taken away. Trust life. Trust God. If you trust, only then can you drop your knowledge. Only then can you put your mind aside. And with trust, something immense opens up. And this life is no longer ordinary life. It becomes full of God, overflowing. Okay. We've got to know, it's not up to anybody else. It's up to you. It's not up to any guru, or it's up to you. And there are three basic steps for you to genuinely address yourself, become a manifesting magnet. You wake up each morning before you open your eyes. Begin to imagine, feel, and sense that your body is a super powerful, magic, cosmically connected radio tower. Its job is to broadcasting and receiving crystal clear messages throughout the entire universe. Every thought you think is instantly broadcasted, felt, and received by the all-intelligent universe. And when you're starting this exercise, ask yourself these 3 questions. Many people don't zero in on this. What kind of messages am I sending out? What kind of messages am I sending out? Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they anger? Are they love? Are they fear? What kind of messages do I want to be sending out? What is the experience I'm receiving back? Now, the idea here is not an attempt to improve, change, or fix the messages being broadcasted and received. The goal is to bring a more loving, gentle awareness towards whatever messages are being broadcasted and received. Effortlessly explore the experience of having a gentle, loving awareness for whatever thoughts cross your mind. Notice what this gentle awareness experience feels like before you even think about opening your eyes. Now, when you master this first part, your mind can be scanning all types of information, streaming through you without having any judgment at all. The mind will simply watch, listen, feel, and be aware of what's happening without any commentary, bodily tension, or over-analysis. Mastering this gentle awareness is the foundation to begin feeling that you actually are this special, high-tech, high-power, highly conscious, universal communication tower. The key to this practice is about feeling a deep acceptance for this universe, acknowledging that this is the way things are, and feeling you are allowing everything in your life to be as it is. It is a welcoming approach to this life that is naturally filled with total acceptance. When you practice acceptance for some time, something magical will occur. You will naturally clear your mind from everything and energetically release all thoughts from your field. And this is a reboot. The first stage is meant to create a full reboot, a blank slate inside, which will allow your love vibration to become rooted, so it may rise higher than it has ever done before. You probably won't be able to master this your first day, which is why this love magnet meditation is a minimum of 7 days. If you really want to see things rolling. After you feel you've spent enough time with accepting and clearing whatever is in your energy field, you're ready for stage 2. Being yourself is truly being pure love. And that is what bliss is. You, Ramana Maharishi. Now, the next stage is where the real excitement begins. It all starts with the feeling of allowing yourself to be penetrated by the most exotic and erotic loving energy in this entire universal image. Imagine a golden white flame from God's heart has entered your body. And now millions of magical love lights are igniting inside your brain, heart, chest, and genitals. Every part of your body is glowing like the sun and sparkling with brilliant golden white angelic light. Every time you breathe, your whole body glows brighter. Imagine that the aura around your body sparkles like a Christmas tree with 100,000 super tiny bulbs. Whenever you speak, all your lights shine, radiate, and sparkle. The love lights are coming out of your eyes, mouth, heart, hands, and yes, even your genitals. Feel how these energy from these lights are connecting with the energetic matrix throughout your body. It is inside of your DNA, your blood, and bones. Your brain, entire physical body, is totally turned on, and it can only receive and broadcast messages of joy, lightness, and love. Within a week, you should be able to see and feel the difference between when your love lights are off and when they are on. Your sparkling light energy is very powerful and highly magnetic. So when you know you are lit up, command your body that this is going to be your new base signal and frequency pattern. Tell your body that this is how every cell inside will be naturally broadcasting energy into this universe from now on. All things are created twice. There's a mental or first creation and the physical or second creation. To all things. Begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey. Now, the third stage of the manifesting love magnet meditation may be even more fun. After you're able to feel when your sparkling love lights are turned off or on, then imagine how your lights are going to impact others. Imagine that you are naturally glowing all around all types of people. No matter who you meet, these people walk away from you smiling, happy, and sparkling. Their biggest, brightest lights ignite because by just being with you, visualize how your sparkling energy is contagious, and the contagious feeling grows stronger with each person you see and turn on. Notice what happens to your lights when you see other people's faces light up. When they feel you, how bright you are. Imagine that they are a far or short distance away, and a deep smile expands across their face, and their heart starts to glow. See how they change. Watch all their fears, worries, and concerns fall instantly away. They are feeling so good that they feel like dancing on the clouds. Anytime you engage intimately with someone, perhaps connect in a more sensual way, watch how much brighter your lights get. See them radiating out and reaching the farthest edges of this universe. It's good to know that the goal of this exercise is not to have every desirable, gorgeous man or woman out there pounding on your front door. That would get annoying. The purpose is to increase your energy, awareness, and sensitivity to love. When you become perpetually in touch with how good the lightness of pure love feels to your body, it will be easy to attract whatever you want in the outer world. And sure, you might attract that super sexy, gentle, loving soulmate at the next outing, or magically find a deep soul loving love pouring out from the heart of your current partner. It won't matter because you'll be enjoying your love light so much. The more often you do the manifesting love magnet meditation, the more love you'll physically attract in the outer world. You'll find that the universe has no other choice than to send the sweetest, most kind, generous, loving people, experiences, and situations your way. Randomly, you'll find people are mysteriously and genuinely interested in you. They may want to give you money, hugs, gentle caressing, or engage in some kind of fascinating conversation with you for some unknown reason. All of this and more will manifest when your love lights are on and something shifts in your personal relationship with the energy of love. When you end the exercise, you want to take a few minutes to visualize. Feel into the project, into your future, who you are going to become. What amazing things are you going to manifest with these super powerful love magnets blazing all day long? Imagine anything is possible for you. Your love lights give you the power to manifest any situation you desire. Feel how this is real and what it's like to have all your biggest dreams come true. Imagine that your life is magic. See how deep you sleep at night. And when you wake up, you start sparkling again from dawn to dusk. The more details you can create with seeing and feeling how the future is manifesting exactly how you want it to be, the better you'll get at allowing your dreams to naturally show up. One of the greatest intentions to hold sacred each time you do this meditation is being more sensitive to God's love. This way, you become a magnet for the infinite flow of divine love. At the highest levels, you can feel God's angelic energy pouring into your body from the most heavenly realms. This energy is so powerful that even in a few seconds, it can wash away all your anxieties, all your worries, fears, and karma. Good, God, love are all the same thing. Good, God, and love are all the same thing. If the person keeps continuously thinking of any one of these, it will be enough. All meditation is for the purpose of keeping out all other thoughts. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. An easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Out of pure nothingness, your awareness is manifesting everything you see around you. Every thought you think is creating your reality. Reality is based on whatever you choose to think about and imagine. There are no limits to what you could do with your life. You start today with this approach and attitude today that you are manifesting whatever you focus upon. This universe is always holding its infinitely empty canvas out in front of you. Paint whatever you want on it. Your future is already bright and flawless. It's like a clean slate brimming with infinite potential energy and creativity. When you open yourself up to this blank canvas, you tap into your unlimited potentiality. You access your power to manifest whatever you wish, want, and desire. So what new brush strokes are you going to be adding today? Infinite potentiality is all around you now. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we'll return here tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, to continue our our Time for Change call, and Thursday, 3:15 p.m. to continue our Global Guided Meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the deepest, deepest, deepest of gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on around you.